Now on 767 News, social worker reveal findings of survey done with children on sexual child abuse. 30 young potential entrepreneurs get training from Dominica Youth Business Trust. Governors General's Caribbean Air Rally comes to Dominica. And in sports, Under 15 Cricket Championship commences. Welcome to 767 News, Dominica's #1 news source. I am Tanya Green, sitting in for Alicia George. When 767 News returns, we'll bring you the latest development as it happens. Stay with us.
Count your Thursdays and win up to $24,000 in cash. For every $9 spent on Big 4, you get a raffle ticket to enter our weekly draws to win $4,000 cash every Thursday for 6 weeks. The more you spend, the more tickets you get, the better your chances of winning every Thursday. That's $24,000 in cash. So play Big 4, count your Thursdays and win up to $24,000 in cash. Only from the Dominica National Lottery. Promotion starts from February 24th to April 2nd.
Welcome back. First up in tonight's newscast, newly acquired information on the effects of child sexual abuse from the eyes of children has given one social worker here more ammunition to advocate for the reduction in the number of sexual child abuse cases in Dominica. Social worker and former head of Child Fund Caribbean in Dominica, Francis Joseph, in February this year, conducted an independent survey with young people aged 12 to 24 to get their perspective on the subject matter. Joseph, in an interview with me on Tuesday, explained why the survey was necessary.
We have been hearing about child abuse more or less from the professional and the adult point of view, where they are saying this is what's happening, this is why it's happening, this is the cause, this is where we should be going, and so on. Because I've been involved in it and advocating that this abuse thing should be well addressed, we use the opportunity to hear from them what are the views of child abuse, how they think it manifests itself, and what are the reasons, who is involved, and what should be proposed or what solutions are there to address it.
Joseph related how the students define child sexual abuse in their own words.
Sexual abuse is someone who got abused with someone who is big or small. Sexual abuse is forcing yourself on someone who is abused without consent, focusing someone to have sex, or wrong or bad use of something to use someone badly. When a person rapes somebody, is to treat someone badly or wrongly, to treat someone cruelly, or to say unpleasant things about a person or thing. These young people have a perception now of what's happening. Either they've heard it on the radio, they have followed it on the news, or they know someone in the community, or they've heard about it in their home setting itself. Although they are silent onlookers, they are very much aware how to define abuse because of what they've seen or because of what they have experienced.
I asked him whether the children's understanding of what child sexual abuse was in fact accurate.
They are right on target. I was amazed of the response. I was amazed of the extreme of the responses that they were giving, and I was amazed at how openly they were giving their responses, simply because it's happening. It says a number of things. They may not have a voice. They probably can talk to their parents about it. They probably can talk to the people about it, because usually the perpetrators are people who have access to the home. The perpetrators are people who are in education, in institutions or at centers and so on. And they do not walk out openly to be abused. These are people, one way or the other, have access to them to a certain extent, maybe stalk them, or maybe look at how vulnerable they are, meaning that they may need money, they live in poverty, they live in a family which is dysfunctional, and all of those things. So there are a lot of things are happening why they are able to come across and give those answers.
Joseph attributes the apparent increase in child sexual abuse cases to poverty levels.
But it is more prominent now, and a lot of reports indicating it's coming from centers where youth gather, at the schools, at our educational institutions and other areas. Before you will hear more of a stepfather or a father or a visiting uncle or a visiting member of the family in the home. Now you hear it's widespread. So that is a concern.
Joseph said the findings of the survey has been circulated to local media organizations here for their scrutiny and dissemination. He says plans are to present the newly found data and statistics to the Welfare Division and other social and governmental organizations. He is hoping that this new information will spur a renewed interest in finding workable solutions on how the society can better address the issue of sexual child abuse. The entire interview with social worker Francis Joseph will be aired on Digicel Play TV Channel 3 during our local programming. In other news, 30 potential entrepreneurs are understanding their personalities and leadership potential through a one-week entrepreneurial development program, EDP, which got underway at the Cabritz National Park on Monday. The training exercise, which ends on Friday, is being facilitated by the Dominica Youth Business Trust, the DYBT, and is the first element of the EDP and is being facilitated in a residential-style manner. During the training program, beneficiaries of the 9th EDP program will also interface with resource persons and successful local entrepreneurs who will provide insight on taxes, banking, social security, and business registration and other real business experiences. At the end of the exercise, participants are expected to develop a business plan. Once successful, the participants will gain access to credit through a loan guarantee agreement. To this date, there are 200 graduates of the Dominica Youth Business Trust program owning successful businesses. In more news, women are being advised to live healthier lifestyles to reduce the instances of being diagnosed with diabetes. During the presentation of a 5-year survey on the diabetic foot, conducted by Dr. Paul Ricketts, Health Information Unit Officer Trudy Christian said women outnumber men in being diagnosed with diabetes.
From 2010 to 2014, the same 5-year trend, the males represented by the darker bar, the females, the lighter bar, and then the total is in green at the end. So we can see that there was a consistently higher number of females over the 5-year period that were diagnosed with diabetes. Remember, in incidence is the new cases that we get in. So females, from 2010, their numbers are higher all the way to 2014. So that's the trend based on the data that we have.
Christian said a healthy lifestyle is important for any diabetic individual, as this can aid in the prevention of amputations, which can have a dramatic impact on the life of an amputee. According to her, between 2010 to 2014, a number of amputations were conducted. However, in 2014, the males outnumbered females in statistics for amputations, while other years were identical.
This is the most prevalent number of amputations from 2010 to 2014, consistently high in the over 70 population. But it is interesting to note, though, and I'll show that on another slide, that there are amputations in younger age groups, and of course that is of concern to us. And there is the 45 to 54 age group, where we have been seeing quite a bit of amputations, or more amputations than we would like to see. Okay, so over 70, the most, but amputations are occurring in the younger population.
In 2010, there were 28 amputations. In 2011, there were 35, 27 in 2012, 14 in 2013, and 37 in 2014. Christian said there is a concern as over 15 females were amputated annually, except in 2013 during the 5-year study.
And as I had said in the previous slide, the most amputations are in patients 70 and above. And in the age group 45 to 54, we see the second highest rate of amputations. And that we know is a concern, because I'm not saying patients over 70 are not productive, but the 45 to 54-year-olds are still in their working age, right? That is not even retirement age. So if we can imagine that in Dominica, we have the second highest number of amputations among this group, that is of concern.
Christian said amputations can have negative implications for the economy, as many individuals in the productive years are victims. Renowned music producer says he was embarrassed by Vibes Radio management. We will have more details when we come back.
Be part of the excitement. Tune in to the Tanya Green Show every other Monday on Digicel Play TV, Channel 3. Accurate, dependable. We go where others have not gone before. We bring you in-depth reporting on the stories that matter. Tune in weeknights from 8:30 p.m. to 767 News, with repeats at 10:30 p.m. and 6 a.m. the following morning. 767 News, Dominica's #1 news source. Only on Digicel Play TV, Channel 3.
Welcome back. You're watching 767 News. I am Tanya Green. Renowned music producer Cornell Phillip is crying foul on the management of Vibes Radio following what he described as an embarrassing abrupt cut of an on-air interview. Phillip, in an interview with 767 News on Tuesday, said he was on air on Monday evening during DJ's R's digital musicology program when the incident occurred. At the time, he was promoting his new rhythm titled The Crazy Love Rhythm, which features 22 local artists.
This is Musicology, which is hosted by RS Digital, is a program geared towards educating, the masses, the listeners of the reggae world. What better opportunity for RS Digital, for Musicology, for Vibes Radio to interview a producer, myself, with a compilation that comprises of 100% local talent. And it really hurts me that is how they see the local artists. Total lack of respect.
Phillip said the program, which was going excellent, began at 8:30 p.m. However, sometime before 10 p.m., the host, RS Digital, received a text message with instructions from his manager that Phillip had received adequate airtime and that the interview should be ended. The producer said he was shocked by this instruction, as had it been a foreign artist, Vibes Radio would have done all in their power to keep that artist on air. About 7 songs from the Crazy Love Rhythm was played out of a list of 22 as a result of the abrupt end to the interview.
I am the producer. I am not an artist. I'm not one of the artists on the compilation. I am the producer, and I was there to promote the artists. I was there to promote the rhythm, the Crazy Love Rhythm, right? Now that in turn brings great content, right, to Vibes Radio, to Musicology. And for something like that to happen, I mean, I'm not someone who would normally talk. I would stay behind the camera, I would stay behind the lines, and I would talk to the people I think that that I need to speak to. But this time, I was embarrassed. I was publicly humiliated when at the last minute, out of the blue, RS has no choice but to tell me, your last words, Mr. Cornell Phillip. Come on. What am I supposed to say then? I am taken aback. I'm shocked. I'm shocked at that kind of treatment. I had no idea what to say. I was embarrassed by Vibes Radio.
Phillip said the incident was unfair to the artists who are featured on the rhythm, who are used to record ads and promotional material for the very same radio.
But you cannot have me on a program and you just cut it like that. You know, you cannot. There are ways of doing things, and you cannot do that. If it was a Jamaican artist, if Alkaline came for an interview now for the show that he has upcoming, if he comes on the radio station now, Vibes Radio will beg him to stay on. They will want him, they'll make him do drops, they'll make him do this, they'll ask him if he wants something to drink. Do they do that for the local artists? No. No. And honestly, I was the victim last night, so I will talk.
The Crazy Love Rhythm features artists including Denison Dice Joseph, O'Malley Durand, Heston Francis, Ahmad Moses, Harry Moe, Asher Thomas, Divine Songs, Nicole Christian, Carlin XP, Atunia, Coco Breakfast, Tracy Johnson, and Nelly Starr. Persons interested in the rhythm can purchase a hard copy by contacting Philip on telephone number 235-6964 or download it on iTunes, cdbaby.com and Amazon.com. 767 News attempts for a comment from the management of Vibes Radio were denied. And the public is being advised to take advantage of an online survey for the submission of acts to possibly perform at the 2015 World Creole Music Festival. That's right. Chief Executive Officer of the Discover Dominica Authority, Colin Piper, said this is important for the public to be part of the lineup process.
Go on www.wcmfdominica.com. You will find a survey, a poll rather, where if you go to that website, you certainly can offer up your top 3 nominees for performing at the World Creole Music Festival. So that'll be open for another week or so.
Piper said the public will also be invited to call in to various radio programs hosted by Dominica's Festivals Committee to make their submissions.
But certainly want you to use that medium, which is the www.wcmfdominica.com, and on that homepage you will have the opportunity to nominate up to 3 artists to perform at the World Creole Music Festival, and obviously that will go into part of the consideration set as we continue our planning for that year.
The survey is expected to come to a close in 2 weeks' time. The festival will be staged from October 30th to November 1. In more news, the Governor General's Caribbean Air Rally visited Dominica today for the first time since its inception. 65 pilots and associates arrived on island this morning, along with 24 single, twin and turbine aircrafts at the Douglas Charles Airport. Chairman of the Discover Dominica Authority, Benoit Badwill, spoke to the media earlier, saying this is an opportunity for tourism as well as education for those interested in an aviation career.
A number of them are coming to Dominica for the first time, and so what we want to do is to ensure that not only they bring in their individual aircrafts here, but also they go in on the island and enjoying what we have to offer. And at the same time, they are also giving back because they are helping the students to understand clearly some of the things as it involves with aviation. A number of the students have gone on board some of the aircrafts to see what's happening, and they're delighted. They were able to see the aircrafts land at the airport.
Badwill also notes that the students present at the arrival were already giving good responses from their experience in relation to the aviation field as a career.
Already I've heard a number of the students are saying that that is something of their interest in terms of furthering their education in the field of aviation. And that is one of the things we want to ensure. We can spur students to be able to encourage them to get into the aviation field. There's lots of things involved here. There are pilots, there are mechanics, there are several persons in aviation. People can get interested in things even as it relates to the airport. So we want to ensure that our students are encouraged to go into that sector.
Principal of the Northeast Comprehensive School, Jean Thomas Jeremy, said this was a great opportunity for her students since at school they don't limit learning to the classrooms.
It's a very brilliant opportunity, to say the least, in that the students that we selected as students who have decided, at least for now, that they want to pursue careers in aviation. And so when the invitation was extended to us, we quickly embraced it, identified the students, and they are here today. They are very passionate about it, don't want to leave, because they get to see quite a bit, first-hand experience, touching the buttons and all the rest of it, and asking lots of questions. So it's a brilliant opportunity, and we trust that more opportunities can be afforded to us at Northeast Comprehensive. Catherine Tobenas, president of the International Air Rally, gave an insight into the Governor General Caribbean Aviation Rally.
It's been going on since 2003. At first it went all across Canada, even to an island of France. Then we moved to the Caribbean in 2010, and it's an event called the Governor General's Cup. And the Governor General's Cup rally, air rally, it's actually, it's not a competition, but it's like a car rally where the participants have to, they have evaluation about their flying knowledge, and they also have to do certain things like flight evaluation, where they give us a time they expect to arrive according to the winds. A lot of technicality, and it's good for the pilots, but because they actually get to review their aviation skill.
The Governors General's Caribbean Air Cup Rally is a unique aviation event which receives international media coverage and documentaries broadcast on television in North America. The latest in sports news is up next with Larry. Stay with us.
Count your Thursdays and win up to $24,000 in cash. For every $9 spent on Big 4, you get a raffle ticket to enter our weekly draws to win $4,000 cash every Thursday for 6 weeks. The more you spend, the more tickets you get, the better your chances of winning every Thursday. That's $24,000 in cash. So play Big 4, count your Thursdays and win up to $24,000 in cash. Only from the Dominica National Lottery. Promotion starts from February 24th to April 2nd.
Fresher foods? Bold flavors? More time. Get it all with appliances from Quartz. Purchase any appliance $999 and over. You can be a weekly winner of $200 US cash. Plus, purchase any Mabe appliance and win $11,000 in prizes of your choice. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay absolutely nothing for 60 days. So find the solutions for your kitchen and laundry only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Good evening and welcome to 767 Sports. In tonight's coverage, we begin with cricket. The 2015 Secondary Schools Under-15 Cricket Championship, organized by the Sports Division, commenced on Wednesday, April 15th with 2 matches. At the Botanic Gardens, St. Mary's Academy took on the Castlebrooke Secondary School, while at the Benjamin's Park in Portsmouth, the Portsmouth Secondary School came up against newcomers to the Secondary Schools Cricket Tournament, the St. John's Academy. Sports teacher at DSMA, Marconi Lewis, said his team has the necessary skills to emerge victorious in this year's championship.
We are blessed to have 3 national players in the persons of Tash Tavernier, Anakim Morrow and Bruce Journalist. We also had Claudio Sanford training for the Dominica side as well. The rest of the team are fairly new but with some experience, playing for certain academies and so on, and been around the game of cricket for some time now.
Lewis said the team has been playing consistently strong cricket, which earned them a spot in the semi-finals in last year's championship and finals in 2013. He said once the batsmen log in double digits on the scoreboard, there is no hurdle that would prevent them from emerging victorious in this year's championship. Meanwhile, Earl Frederick, acting sports teacher of the Castlebrooke Secondary School, CBSS, said he is confident in the school's chances in this year's championship.
Our school have been preparing for some time. We have some members of the sports division assisting, like Mr. Alexander Burton, Anderson Burton. And our mentor for today is Mr. Anderson Burton. His job is just to coach the boys, mentor them along, show them the, as would say, the ropes of the game. I believe the game is the competition itself. The concept of it is good, but more should be done to assist the young boys, especially in terms of, for example, in terms of uniform. Most of the boys have to buy their own uniform. I believe the sponsors should do a little more, at least, to assist the boys in that department, apart from just paying the bus fare. So a little more should be done to assist the boys. Also, well, I think they're doing a good job in at least sending the coaches to assist the boys. But in terms of the gears and outfit of the boys, they should do a little more.
Frederick said the CBSS has been performing well at the championship, which was evident in 2014 being a finalist. He said the team has the necessary skills and experience to make it to this year's finals. 9 schools are participating in this year's championship, which will be played in 2 zones, with the top 2 teams from each zone advancing to the semi-finals. Matches during this year's championship are expected to be played at the Botanic Gardens, Benjamin's Park, Dubla, and Jolly John Park. In an effort to improve the standard and quality of play, the sports division is piloting a mentorship program during this year's championship. It is hoped that this new initiative will bring improved performances, and players and sports teachers will benefit from the experience and knowledge that this mentorship program will bring. In handball, 3 coaches who topped the recent handball level 1 coaching course says they are satisfied with their performance. In an interview with 767 News, Krishna Winston, certified handball coach and basketball coach of the Northeast Comprehensive School, NECS, who topped the course with 97%, said his achievement was as a result of hard work and his previous knowledge.
I feel excited about it because all the other participants were competitive and everybody was interested in the test and, well, doing the best that they could do, so I was glad that I could actually be the best.
And how excited are you about, handball actually taking some sort of precedence and recognition here,
Well, it's a good thing. It's a new sport coming into Dominica. We used to play basketball, for example. I'm used to playing basketball and coaching basketball at the school that I teach. I'm kind of excited that we have something to go back and bring to the students, something new. And it's real fun from the practicals that we had. It's a very fun thing, so I know the students will enjoy it as well.
Winston said the participants of the course gave their commitment to form handball teams in their respective schools to ensure the sport is developed on island. According to Winston, they are hoping to organize a handball festival for later this year, which will aid in the sensitization of the sport. Sports teacher at the Northeast Comprehensive School, Nissa James, who scored 95% in the exam, said although she was somewhat disappointed in her performance, it was a great accomplishment.
And all in all, I think the course was wonderful. The coach was very keen in explaining the events. He gave us lots of examples, lots of notes, and it was just fun. The participants made it fun as well, even for our practical sessions. It was enjoyable, and I mean a little nervous at the end of the day because I thought I made some errors in the exam. But coming second, I can smile about it.
James, who prior to the course had plans of introducing the sport to the students of the NECS, said a Level 1 certification will further boost that plan. Meanwhile, sports director of the Dominica State College, DSC, Cleveland Vidal, who scored 92.5% on the handball exam, said the sport was not difficult for him to learn as a result of his involvement in numerous sporting disciplines.
Because of my job, I chose it. I found it fit to actually go and do this program because I'm responsible for all the sporting events in Dominica State College, so it was always the best thing to learn a new sport at the time it is being introduced to Dominica.
Vidal said the sport will not be difficult to teach to the Dominica State College students, as many of them are from the Dominica Grammar School, which can be regarded as the birthplace of the sport on the island. And in basketball, in week 3 of the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association 2015 National League, the Premier Division Player of the Week award goes to Peter Ricketts of Sideman X-Men. In a 109-91 win over Fashion Line Falcons, he finished with a season-high 36 points, 9 rebounds and 2 blocks while shooting at an outstanding 79% from the field. The Division 1 Player of the Week award goes to Daniel Ormond of the Thunderers. He recorded a double-double in a win against the Intellico Security Raiders, scoring 15 points and a season-high 20 rebounds to go along with 3 blocks and 2 steals. Each player will receive a $25 gift voucher sponsored by IROC Subs and Pizzas. And that's it for tonight's Sportscast. Tune in again tomorrow for more sports news.
And thank you, Larry, for the latest in sports. Now for a recap of the headlines. Social worker reveal findings of survey done with children on sexual child abuse. 30 young potential entrepreneurs get training from the Dominica Youth Business Trust. Governor General's Caribbean Air Rally comes to Dominica. And in sports, Under-15 Cricket Championship commence. And that's all the time we have for news. Drop us an email at media@767news.dm. Friend us on Facebook and be sure to like our 767 News page. From all of us on the 767 News production team, I am Tanya Green. Thank you for watching.